It's Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. Get ready to pay more. This recovery that they continue to try to sell you and I on a daily basis, this recovery is over. Before I start today, please give this video a thumbs up. If you really want to support the message, support the channel, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. And if you are subscribed to this channel, hit that bell notification down below so that you are notified with the newest video. I want to get started today. I want to cover a lot today. I was reading an article by Peter Schiff, and it's on the Hedge. It's titled, "Jerome Powell is Making Promises the Fed Cannot Keep." And in this article, Peter says the recovery is over. And look, there has been no recovery other than the recovery for the top 1% or the top 0.0001%. We are, in my humble opinion, witnessing a depression. And we are going to witness a full-blown depression here shortly in America. The Fed cannot create prosperity. All they can do is print money, Peter Schiff says. All the Fed can do is temporarily create the illusion of a recovery by creating inflation. Eventually, the illusion wears off, and all that's left is the dark reality of stagflation. Here's a fact. The U.S. is heading into a very bad depression, ladies and gentlemen, and I cannot stress enough that every one of you is preparing. I know that 98% of you watching this video today understand exactly what is going on. Most of you have been preparing for many years and continue to prepare. And when I read articles like this by Peter Schiff, it continues to just reinforce what I believe, and it's reinforcing what I'm seeing with my own two eyes. This depression is here, ladies and gentlemen. It has already begun, and the Fed is not going to stop it. The AP, 15% of Americans worse off a year in to the crisis. You know, we have gone from paycheck to paycheck. Now we are going from stimulus check to stimulus check. And people are going from unemployment check to unemployment check. What happens when the money runs out? What if the government says, hey, we're broke. We can no longer extend unemployment checks. We can no longer extend these $300 bonuses. Hey, we may have to raise interest rates. Things are going to change abruptly, ladies and gentlemen. And I know there's people out there laughing and judging me and criticizing me, saying that this can never happen. The Fed will never let it fail. The Fed's going to keep the stock market propped up for the next 100 years. It's going to continue to prop up the housing market for the next 100 years. These people have no idea what is coming. These people are delusional. And these are going to be the people that are going to get hurt the most. CNBC. Shoppers better start budgeting more for their groceries, according to the latest consumer index, which shows prices increasing, and they are likely going to keep going up. But, I watched a interview with Jim Rickards the other day. I like Jim Rickards, but it was really disappointing how he can come out and say that there's no inflation. He'll tell us that the price of a television has gone down, the price of a cell phone has gone down, the price of a computer has gone down, and that's all true. But the price of gasoline is going up, the price of housing, the price of education, the price of healthcare continues to go up, and the price of everyday goods, like groceries, goes up. And that's great that, that the television set hasn't gone up, it's gone down. But you know what? I don't buy a television set every day. I don't buy a computer every day. I don't buy a cell phone every day. It's been 6 years, 7 years since I bought a television. I did recently just buy another phone, but my last phone lasted me 5 years. But the things that we're buying every day, the necessities, continue to go up. The monthly consumer index released Tuesday morning showed a 0.6% increase in March, the largest one-month increase in nearly a decade. Prices have increased 2.6% over the past year. Here's another article on CNBC. Consumer prices rise more than expected, pushed by 9.1% jump in gasoline. And so as the economy is somewhat reopening, and as people want to get out, they want to go somewhere, gasoline prices surging, and guess what? They're going to surge a lot more. ArcLight Cinemas and Pacific Theaters won't be reopening. Parent company Decurion hands keys back to landlord. So that's going to be more people without a job, more vacant commercial real estate, and again, another barometer of what's happening in the real economy. And this is what also is happening in the real economy. Shipping container rates expected to remain elevated through year. 40-foot containers coming from Asia to U.S. Are costing $2,500 to $3,000. That's a 25 to 50% increase, higher than last year. And guess who's paying this difference? You're paying it, I'm paying it for those goods coming from Asia, those cheap goods coming from Asia over to America, and now 25 to 50% more in cost to rent those containers. And guess what else? That fuel cost on those massive cargo ships, fuel, as I just explained to you, gasoline up 9.1%. Those fuel costs will be passed on to you and I also. So everything at the store is going to be getting more and more expensive. And most of you have noticed that. U.S. stimmy checks support foreign manufacturing economies. We are destroying our middle class, and we are making other countries wealthier and wealthier, and we are growing the middle class in other countries such as China, while our middle class is being decimated. It's absolutely amazing to think that these artificial injections, these stimulus checks, this money printed out of thin air that continues to devalue our currency, meaning causing inflation, meaning less purchasing power, that money, those stimulus checks are heading right back over to other countries, creating more wealth, more opportunity, and more manufacturing, and a better lifestyle for people in other countries, while we're being decimated right here with our economy. Wall Street Journal, the suburban homebuyer could be a foreign government. I'm going to close with this article. I think it's very, very important. You know, we hear so much about how the economy is doing incredibly well. It's booming. The housing market's doing incredibly well. So everything is good because the housing market's doing well and the stock market's doing well. But we know that the stock market is completely manipulated. And from my opening article with Peter Schiff, the whole thing's an illusion. And people are buying in and believing the illusion. You know, the guy wearing the $2,000 suit on one of these business channels telling you everything is okay because the Dow Jones is up today, telling you everything is okay because the housing boom, there's no houses available because everybody's buying them. That's how great the economy is. And this is nothing more than an illusion, and people are buying it hook, line, and sinker. And if you take a couple minutes and dig down a little bit, you'll find out that it's all manipulated, that it is an illusion, and that people are being fooled. Big foreign investment firms that buy office buildings, hotels, and shopping centers around the world have a new favorite real estate play. It's called single-family housing homes in America. I've made videos in the past explaining to people the institutional money, the hedge funds, the BlackRocks, buying so many of these homes, pushing the prices of these homes into areas where people, the average American, cannot attain a home because they're getting priced out by institutional money, by hedge funds. And now we're seeing foreign investment firms coming to America. These institutions are partnering with U.S. housing companies to buy or build rental homes by the thousands in suburban neighborhoods. New cities such as Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Phoenix are seeing blocks of families send monthly rent checks to ventures backed by Canadian pension funds, European insurers, and Asian or Middle Eastern government-run funds. The overseas investors are following in the footsteps of many big U.S. investment firms and pension funds, which started by buying single-family homes on a large scale in the aftermath of the financial crisis of 2008. German insurer Allianz SE last month said it is investing in a venture to buy more than $4 billion of U.S. rental homes. Singapore's sovereign wealth fund, GIC, is backing plans by Quinn Residences to buy single-family rental homes across the southeastern U.S. Canada's Public Sector Pension Investment Board has partnered with Premium Partners, LLC. The venture has bought around 2,000 homes right here in the U.S. Is this really good for the housing market? What kind of damage is this going to do to Americans, especially first-time home buyers, young people? This is pricing Americans out of the housing market. They are creating a system where we're not going to be able to own a home because most Americans aren't going to be able to afford a home. So we will be renting from these venture companies, these pensions, these investment companies, these hedge funds. And I think this should be totally banned. It should be illegal. And to me, this is not a free market. When you have institutional money of this proportion coming in and just creating massive bubbles. And of course, when things turn, they will be the first ones out, and then they will be the first ones right back in. After they've decimated the housing market, after they've popped the bubble, they'll be back in buying all of this up for pennies on the dollar, while the average American will be decimated, broke, foreclosed on, short-sailed, whatever. These people will be lucky to even rent back their own home from one of these institutions. This is the game that is being played right now, ladies and gentlemen. And these firms, these institutions are so big, they can manipulate the housing market now. Look at what is going on. Stock market manipulated, house market manipulated, bond market manipulated. Everything is being manipulated. But of course, when they prick this bubble, they will unload thousands and thousands and thousands of homes, rental homes, apartments, and they will come right back in and buy it all up, pennies on the dollar. So they will destroy the housing market, and they will destroy families, they will destroy homeowners, and they're going to come in because they have such deep pockets, billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they are going to scoop it up for pennies on the dollar. And this is another example of the wealth transfer. So many people believe in the reset. Well, yeah, there's going to be a reset. You're going to be resetted, all right. Many people will see a reset. They're going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their wealth. Wow, this top 1%, these massive institutions of hedge funds and banks and large investment companies are going to become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier and own more. They're going to own a lot more real estate. They're going to have a lot more power, and they're going to have a lot more control. And that is going to be part of the reset, while the average American is going to owe a lot of money, lose their homes, lose their wealth, have no net worth, and be reliant on the system, and hopefully be able to rent a property. And hopefully not be dependent on a government subsidy in order to survive. This whole thing is a mess, ladies and gentlemen. It is a complete mess. I was just talking to my buddy Dan last night. He went to two banks. I believe there were two Bank of Americas in Orange County yesterday. Both closed. One didn't even have a note on the door, just closed. The other one, no, temporarily closed. But just imagine showing up to your bank at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the lights are off and nobody's there. So I think we all need to be critically thinking on a daily basis about protecting our wealth and having that food, that water, that security, that network, and walking close to God, because we are going to be heading into something we have never, ever seen before. So be diversified. Get out of the system the best that you can. And I believe one of the best things you can do is pay down your debt, because debt is a destroyer. It is a killer. And heading deeper into this depression, debt is going to be like sticking an anchor, like tying an anchor to your leg and jumping in the ocean. You're going straight to the bottom. You're not going to have a chance to get through this, to survive. And you certainly are not going to have opportunity to capitalize on the sales that are coming if you're weighted down with debt. This reset that everybody is talking about, and many believe that their debt is just going to be forgiven. The credit card debt, the car debt, the mortgage, everything's going to be forgiven. It's not. It will be forgiven for the people at the top of the pyramid. Okay, the hedge funds, the banks, the large investment companies, those people will be forgiven. Those people will get bailed out, and they will capitalize on a crushed real estate market. They're going to come in and they're going to buy real estate at pennies on the dollar, and they're probably going to do it with money that they've been bailed out with. You're not going to have that opportunity. You're not going to have that advantage. So get out of debt right now. Don't get into debt. One of the best things you could do is not get into debt to begin with. And if you don't have debt right now, continue to purchase assets, put some cash away, and be diversified, because opportunity is coming. There are millions of people, the masses, doubling down on these illusions, and they have this fear, this FOMO, fear of missing out. All their friends are buying into these overvalued markets. Their family members, their colleagues, everybody's buying into these markets, these overvalued assets. Everybody's buying a house, so they've got to do it because of this fear of missing out. And these people, I truly believe, are going to get completely wiped out because of their fear of missing out. This euphoria that nothing can go wrong because everybody's doing it. So I'm going to double down, triple down, quadruple down. What could go wrong? If something goes wrong, the Fed will come in and just save us. People really believe that this is going to go on forever. Yet they're not looking at what's really happening. People are running a sprint. They're not running the marathon. We got a long way to go here. Take a look at the real economy. Look at what's really happening. And people don't want to look at reality. They just want to live in the bubble. They want to live in the illusion and continue to double down because they don't want to miss out. But there's another group of people, a small group of people, who are sitting on the sidelines and they're licking their chops. They know exactly where this is all going. We're already seeing many, many hedge funds in very, very big trouble. We saw the banks in trouble, 16 months ago, with the whole repo market melting down. We saw a 20% correction last March on Wall Street, how quick it can happen. People have no fear, just the fear of missing out. And these people are going to follow the rest of the masses right off the cliff. Again, while the small group of people who've been patient, have put assets away, put cash away, who've had a plan, who see the big picture, who are running the marathon, they're going to come in and they're going to gobble all this stuff up. These people, the masses still at the party, dancing to the music, not a care in the world. When the bottom gets pulled out, these people are not going to know what to do. They're going to be completely wiped out. They'll have no plan, no wealth, and you're going to see another group of people, a very small group of people. Many of them have been very, very patient. Many of them have been very, very awake. And, many of these people are going to be the billionaires. It's going to be the Jamie Dimons, the JP Morgans, the top, 0.001%, who all know how this is going to play out. The masses have been fooled. But if you act like your own central bank, if you act like a JP Morgan, amazing, the billions of dollars of gold and silver, physical gold and silver they have in their safes, more above ground physical silver than anybody in the entire world JP Morgan has in their vaults. And the amount of gold that they have. What do they know? Why do they want all that physical gold and all that physical silver? I believe they have 1 billion ounces of physical silver, 200,000 physical ounces of gold. Why does Jamie Dimon's bank have all that physical precious metal? But again, if you're not thinking like a central bank, if you're not thinking like a Jamie Dimon, not doing what he says, doing what he's actually doing. Don't do what they say. Do what they're doing. If we act like that top 0.001%, meaning we're holding gold, we're holding silver, we're holding some cash, we're going to take advantage of this wealth transfer just like they are. Most people are going to be on the losing side of this wealth transfer. You have to decide what side you want to be on, the losing side or the winning side. Yeah, there's a big group of people partying right now because the stock market and the whole illusion continues to go crazy. But what happens when the music stops? What happens when the bottom is pulled out? What happens when reality comes to the markets? When there is no more magic tricks, when there is no more illusion. And now it's a matter of what you're holding, what you have access to. Not what you have on a piece of paper, not what you have on a screen, but what you actually have in your hands. Something to think about. Again, I don't give financial advice, but I'm just thinking out loud today. Please feel free to comment down below. And I want to thank everybody for the comments. So many people have been writing in saying that these are the best comments of any channel on YouTube. The best comments, the most informative, most knowledgeable comments of anywhere on the internet. And that's not because of me, that's because of all of you. And again, I think out loud. I have a camera, a microphone, and I'm thinking out loud on a daily basis. But the real knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is down in the comments. That's the real world. That's what's really happening in our country. That's real people telling you real things. So if you want to gain a little bit of knowledge today, you want to absorb some knowledge, you want to have your eyes opened and your mind opened up a little bit today, read the comments down below and see what real people are saying about what's happening in the real world. God bless every one of you. Have a phenomenal day. Look very, very forward to talking to all of you very, very soon. God bless.